Hey guys, this is Tom Hanks. Welcome to another stream. While I move my microphone. Hey Nikachu the cat, how are you doing? Sorry for that. Just had to move my mic a little bit. First up, if I sound a little echoey, it's because I am going to be moving soon, and I already removed all furniture from this large living room except for my desk and chair. So it's basically a really big empty room. That's where the echo is coming from. I can't really do much about that. So yeah, today we have a community challenge to handle. I actually need to change the title here. Okay. And I'm booting up automation, so we'll get right into the action. I only had 4 valid entries this time. Unfortunately, I'll get into the valid entries part in just a second. So we have the Williams Automobile Chancellor, which was sent in by Masa. So first of all, I'm going to show you my own car that I built. This is the car that you see in the thumbnail of the community challenge announcement video, by the way. It's a pretty small car overall. It has a 6.8 liter naturally aspirated, of course, V8 with a direct acting overhead cam. It makes 430 horsepower and around 460 pound-feet of torque, so it's quite strong. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Should probably switch scenes. There we go. Thank you for reminding me. Anyway, this is the car. This is the engine. Lots of carbs. Not a very good diet, to be honest with you, having this many carbs. But you know, luckily this car didn't get any eating disorders from it. Anyway, this has a 4-speed manual gearbox with an automatic locker. It's got 255s on the rear, 205s on the front. Steel rims. It's got relatively low production hours, or production units, all things considered, only 77.8, and that's of course because I didn't use any quality points anywhere. Quad DCOEs, why so many? Because this community challenge is about building the quickest muscle car on the quarter mile. So you gotta use what you can get, right? You gotta make use of everything that you can possibly gain. The reason this is not like dual overhead cam for Valve Persona, because for one, this is a reference car and I don't want to be sort of, you know, cheating. Like it's technically allowed to do that, but at the same time, it doesn't really fit the muscle car theme. And also, it would probably not allow me to fit a 6.8 liter into this engine bay, which is, all things considered, not that large. So yeah, this is my own car. Now let's get into the entries that we have. This is the Williams Automobile Chancellor by Masa. Looks very American. Obviously it has the correct pony car body for it. The rims maybe not quite 1969-esque, but that's okay, I guess. So under the bonnet of this one, we have a 7.8 liter pushrod V8, actually with a flat plane crankshaft. So that's interesting. And then we have 354 horsepower, 663 Newton meters, which is quite a lot. Yeah, it's got a decent torque curve as well. So it should be fairly quick off the line. It's got a 4-speed manual with an automatic locker. It's got 205s all around, which might be a little bit iffy when it comes to actually putting power down. A low revving flat plane V8, yeah, that's kind of surprising indeed. The brakes are probably larger than what you'd ever find on a real life 1969 muscle car, but at the same time, this is we're in a game here. This is not that big of a problem. Right. I'm purposely not testing these in automation on the quarter mile, because we're gonna take them to BeamNG anyway, and we're gonna find out how well they put that power to the ground and how well they accelerate in practice. But yeah, this one looks good, maybe except for the wheels. And then, yeah, the rear end is pretty damn nice. I like that. The engine is reasonable, though not crazy in my opinion. Except for the flat plane crank, of course, but the numbers it's putting out are not crazy. You would see this for sure in a real world 1969 muscle car, this sort of power. This is the Hudson Soul Motors Bullet. This is the HSM Bullet, which is by an Antennae 1. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation for this, but anyway. This is a similar body, I believe, to the one I'm using. It's also a very small body. It's very light, and it has a 4.6 liter V8. That 4.6 liter is a dual overhead cam 4-valve per cylinder setup, which is interesting because it makes like no torque down here. There's like no torque in the low RPMs. And very aggressive cam profile. It can't quite reach its peak power, I believe. It's got 4-barrel twin carburetors and race intakes. And even with that, it doesn't make all that much power, to be honest with you. The exhaust might be slightly too big. just a little guess. Might be slightly overkill there. It's a 5-speed manual with an open differential. Yeah. Then again, we are moving to the quarter-mile track, to the actual drag strip in Beam, which has better grip than any other track, any other surface. Ooh, but 195s all around. Damn. Yeah, this might struggle putting the power down that it has, or it may not. I don't know. At the same time, it may just lack the sheer grunt that some of the other entries have, you know, to be truly fast there. All in all, I don't believe that this would make a very realistic muscle car either. The looks are great, but the engine is just not appropriate for you know, even a pony car, let alone an actual like larger size, a mid-size or full-size muscle car. This is just not this is just not the right kind of engine for it. But we'll see how it performs, because it is very, very light. Then we have the first, which was actually not the first entry. That was by Jan. Okay. Now this looks more like a completely souped up muscle car. Like this is the sort of Mopar build that you'd see, I think. Crazy front lip and lots of hood air intakes and scoops and big wing, big wheels, lots of chrome trim, huge exhaust pipes. I mean, I love it, but especially the paint job just looks way too modern. You wouldn't see that sort of metallic touch on a 69 muscle car. Under the hood of this thing lies a 10-liter V8, which also has dual overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, 767 horsepower, 881 newton meters. The crank's sort of exploding. The conrods, the pistons are all taking severe damage. So you wouldn't really. Oh, and there's a lot of quality going on everywhere. And the fuel system only +5, none on the exhaust, but the bottom end and top end are huge investments on this one. No quality in the gearbox, surprisingly. You'd think that this would be another part where you would want a lot of quality. How are the production units so low when the production units for the engine alone are 396? Then how are the total production units 82 when the engine alone takes like 396 hours to produce? I don't get it. Yeah, the spoiler isn't really 1969. This looks more like a sort of 2008 rebuild or Mopar rebuild of a 1969 muscle car than it looks like an actual 1969 muscle car. But you know, it's. And this is what I'm worried about with this one. 93% wheel spin in third. It does have massive tires, massive sports tires, in fact. But will that be enough to actually put the power to the ground? Because there's just so much of it. And the weight distribution is also pretty bad. Like, it weighs nearly 1900 kilograms, but most of that is on the front, whereas the power goes to the rear, so there's not that much putting that power like down onto those rear wheels. Car production units aren't the total production units. Yeah, but where do I see the total production units then? This is really expensive, by the way. This is a very, very expensive car to make. So we'll keep that in mind, because the engine is just crazy, both in terms of its numbers and in terms of what it takes to produce it. And of course the big question with this one is, can it put the power to the ground? Oh, it's got fuel injection as well. Damn. Yeah. But the elephant in the room is, of course, that sheer power. Can it use it? Or can it not? And then the last entry that we're going to see today is the Iron Brute Mauler Mark II, which is sent in by SgtSnoopy. So this one also uses the Ford Falcon body. It's a pretty nice looking car for 1969. The Eco number plate might not be quite appropriate. The wheels are maybe not sort of error correct either, but they're fine, I think. Otherwise, I kind of like the design. It's nothing like completely out of the ordinary, except for the crazy white arches and maybe the wing isn't quite 1969, but overall it's a decent looking car. This has a 7.6 liter V8. This one uses direct acting OHC. Makes 505 horsepower, 716 Newton meters of torque. Revs to 5,500 RPM. Oh, that's a 4-door car, yeah. Didn't realize that this has 4 doors rather than just 2. That's pretty nice. We've got a 4-speed manual gearbox. We've got an open diff. Ooh, that's gonna be difficult. 3 30mm sports tires on the rear. Solid brakes all around. We do have some quality in the gearbox here. Low quality here. 5 seats and some quality in the interior. Probably trying to put some of that weight onto the rear end. And this does have a 56-44 power or weight distribution, which is better than 60-40, of course. And this is, of course, vastly less powerful than the previous car we just looked at. So maybe this might actually be able to use all of that power. It is still very heavy, though. So I don't know how this is going to compare on the quarter mile. The two people who sent in or who tried to compete but could actually not make it into the competition were, for one, there was LHH who sent me a wrong file. I specifically asked for this file, the point car file, whereas he sent me the RAR folder for the BeamNG car. But of course I would like to take a look at all those cars in automation as well. And then there was a second invalid entry, which was Low Life Max C, who built a 2012 muscle car with an order style body. I believe it was the Ford Falcon body anyway. But the car was made in 2012, so that's not acceptable. And I've already went ahead and exported all of these to BeamNG, so let's go there. Yeah, Beam is taking a little while. I don't really know why. Come on now. You can do it. One of these days. Oh, okay, it's actually steam freezing. I don't know why that happens so often when I leave automation. Just steam starts freezing for some reason. No, it's not responding at all. Okay. Restarting Steam. Okay. Right, now let's start BeamNG. And we will actually go ahead and go to time trials and then West Coast, drag strip. And first of all, I'm gonna get into my own car, which is here. And we're gonna play. Oh, yeah, switch to BeamNG would probably be a good idea. Right, so this is my own car. $11,975. That might actually be the very best time I've gotten with this so far. Damn, that's pretty quick. Still pretty quick. I managed to lock the diff in time. Let's try that again now. Okay, so we didn't actually improve here. Right, now we're gonna go test the other cars. See what everybody else's cars can do. That's a flat plane V8. Oh man. Basically stalled it off the line because it has way too long of a first gear. Yeah, first gear is way too long. The launch is just... Managed to lock the diff in time. Yeah, we don't get any... Yeah, we don't manage to get any wheel slip off the line. And instead we just basically stall it, which cost us quite a lot of time, I think. Like, it could be probably like half a second faster if it had a shorter first gear. But as it is, it just doesn't have the grunt down low, or alternatively it has too long of a first gear in order to really get a good launch. 14.4, yeah, that seems to be about the time we'll get with this, so... okay. Then we have the... What is the other one we had? I should clean up my garage once again. We have this one, and then there was a... Yeah, there we go. The Hudson Motorsports Bullet, it was called. So this one we said was actually not really fitting for a muscle car, but it is very light and has 290 horsepower. .3. So that's more than a second faster than the previous car. .2. Let's give it one more try, because we did 3 attempts on the other cars as well. .3 again. Okay, so 13.2 was the best one of this. Now let's go with this one. The big question with this, of course, is can it put the power down, because it has just so much of it, and it's only rear-wheel drive, of course. Right. It's a 12.1, which actually makes it slower than my car, which has like 300 less horsepower. That's an 11.9 though, so that puts it on par with my car. Let's see if we can maybe get an even better launch. .12.0. Alright. So 11.9 is the time to beat. And we only have one contender left, really. And that's this one. However, the green car we just drove is gonna get major point deduction because it uses so much quality and it's extremely expensive to make. So unless it wins by a long shot, it's just not gonna win this community challenge. I have to factor in the cost, given that everybody else used next to no quality sliders, or if they did, then a very, reasonable amount, whereas he used a lot. .12.7. Let's see, maybe we can do better than that with this car. I feel like it has a little bit more potential. .11, 12, 12.9. That was worse. .12.8. So 12.7 was this car's best time. And that is about 8/10 slower than the other car. I would have to go back to automation once again to check how big the price difference is between the two, but it is quite significant. So based on that price difference, I'm gonna crown a winner. It doesn't actually tell how many production units this takes to make. So this with no markups costs 48,800. If we add a reasonable amount of markup, like say 30%, it's at 63,000 and nearly $500. That's quite expensive. Now let's see what the other one costs. $32,800, and with plus 30% is 42,000. So that's like $22,000 less. What do you get for those extra $22,000? It's 0.8 seconds on the quarter mile, which is, you know, nothing to sneeze at. Yet at the same time, I feel like this just fits the spirit more of a 69 muscle car. You know, the other car just went way overboard, you know, way too crazy. Like nothing like that would ever have happened in real life, and especially not considering that automation is all about cars that could be driven on the road. And well, this is sort of on the edge already. The other car is clearly, you know, has clearly crossed that line. I'm gonna drive both of these cars in BeamNG as well on like an actual track. Actually, I'm gonna drive all the cars on a track. So let's see, just to give everyone a fair shot. Switch over to Beam. I'm actually gonna go here, yeah. For two reasons. One, we can actually time the 0 to 62 times. Two, because there's a racetrack like really right next to it. First, I'm gonna get into my own car. So that's 4.17 seconds. I've done it faster in this car though. That was slower. 4.32. $3.9, there we go. And there's the racetrack. Whoa, okay. Yeah, short wheelbase and a lot of power going on into the rear wheels. That's not a good combination when it comes to actual handling. Yeah, this just gets unsettled really, really quickly. So this is not a very trackable car, which this community challenge of course wasn't about, but I still want to give everyone a fair shake. Let's try this. .17 seconds. .19 this time. Okay, so we're not really gonna get much faster here. This is really stable on the braking though. I like the brakes in this one. So this actually feels like more of a European sports car in the body of an American muscle car. Or at least let's find out how it handles first, before saying that. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. But why I said that sentence is because for one, the flat plate engine, and for two, the really good braking performance actually, because that was something that, well, 60s muscle cars aren't typically famous for. Even there, it didn't understeer that much, and it the oversteer is somewhat controllable actually. There I went a little bit too far. But overall, this handles quite well, actually. This is a lot more well balanced than I expected a, a 69 muscle car to be. How about this then? Yeah, it did 5.67 seconds, 0 to 62. .75 that time, and it's loud. .56. So let's see how this one does on the track. Now, it is very light, of course, but with an engine like that up front, that might actually be a disadvantage because since it's very light overall and most of that weight is going to be up front, it's going to have a hard time around the corners, I imagine. Actually, oh yeah, once it starts spinning, it's not stopping. Yeah, it is a little bit harder to control when it starts sliding. It is very eager to turn in, but I think what it may need is just slightly bigger tires. Then it would be really good, actually, I think. Then let's take this one for a spin. That was 4.18, 0 to 100, oh, 0 to 62 miles an hour. .4. 4.29. 4.48, so we're actually not gonna get to the same levels of acceleration as my car got to, but it's still pretty quick. It's also a little bit nervous on the braking. It understeers. And then when you even consider going on the throttle, it oversteers. This probably handles the way that a muscle car like this should. Which is bad, though. I don't want to be mean here, but this, yeah, okay. Okay, not very good handling on this one. This, let's see. .7 seconds acceleration. 4.7, yeah, I think that's where we're at. Let's see what this does on the track. Actually not that bad, to be perfectly honest with you. Then again, under braking it does also rotate the rear around because it's gonna have a very heavily front biased brake balance because, you know, that huge engine is on the front. But other than that, it actually handles quite well. As long as you never need to brake hard, it actually handles decently well. But if you do, damn, like, yeah, this does not have a whole lot of torque in the low RPMs, it seems. I mean, it's tough, man. Yep. It's tough, but I think this one's gonna take the win. SgtSnoopy, congratulations. So, I still wanna show you guys one more thing, though. Because it's a supercar that I made. It's a 2002 supercar, and you may have seen at least for a glimpse already this one. This is a 2002 model year, and it has a 4.5 liter flat plane V8 with 2 turbos, and it makes 700 horsepower. It's all carbon, of course, so it's very light. And let's see what this can do. Sequential gearbox shifting super fast. .5. And the crazy part about this is, if I can get it right here, .18, 0 to 62, but I've gotten it faster than that. .07. .18. .21. 212. 204. I've gotten it below 2 seconds before, off camera. 203. 202, come on, we can do it. That didn't count? That didn't count again. .202 once again. But still, that's 2 seconds flat. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, so... Let's take this to a track actually, because I've never done that before, like taking this to a track. It does have a lot of power. You notice that like anywhere you go into the throttle. Yep, that can happen any moment. And I've lost my wing. $195, there it is. So it took longer to get to to stop from 62 miles an hour than it took to get there. That's something you can't say about a lot, of course. Why did that not count? That was an amazing start, actually. That didn't count either, for whatever reason. Are you trolling me, game? It never counts when I do that. Didn't count once again. $196. So we were able to repeat the sub 2 second 0 to 62 time. And with that, I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna stream again tomorrow. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. We don't really have any viewers anyway, so it's not like people are missing all that much. The community challenge is over. Congratulations to SgtSnoopy for winning it. Even though you technically did not build the fastest car, you built the second fastest car with the better handling and the much better pricing. Because this is faster in a straight line. However, it has exorbitant pricing. It's way too expensive, way too much quality being used, and it cannot take corners at all, pretty much. It does that as well, but so do many cars in this competition actually. And then lastly, one rear-wheel drive car that I built here just to see what is humanly possible. Oh, come on. Right, let's knock ESC off. Yeah, okay. That was pretty fast, wasn't it? No, don't spawn me like this. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna actually time this one as well because that is the car with which I set my record here. And with that, I'm gonna actually wrap it up. So I'm gonna be streaming. I'm gonna be streaming again tomorrow at 4 p.m. GMT. Try to be there if you can. We're gonna be doing just some generic automation and BeamNG.drive stuff, some casual stuff. No community challenge. No. Well, you might do something crazy. I don't know yet. 8.9 seconds. Pretty quick, isn't it? .9 again. I've done it in 8.8 with this, as you can see. That was the worst attempt so far. What? Okay, no, that was the worst attempt. .909. Pretty damn fast. Second best attempt ever. This car does 0 to 100 miles an hour in like 4 point something seconds, which is just absolutely insane. I think that's gonna be it. As I said, I'm gonna be streaming in tomorrow. Hope to see you guys there. It's gonna be, of course, at 4 p.m. GMT. And again, congratulations to SgtSnoopy for winning the community challenge. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. See you next time. Bye bye.